Get to heaven, let me go to hell.
Kenyan politics is a battlefield, a brutal game where only the sharpest survive. One man lit the fuse on a debate that's shaking the nation. Moses Kuria, senior advisor to President William Ruto, dropped a bombshell on X that has got everyone talking. Quote, "Amateurs and paper tigers will fall by the wayside," he wrote. "Only pros will remain. This makeup is peeling off. Na Bado, more to come." Unquote. It's a warning loud and clear. Competence is king, and the weak won't last. But what sparked this? Was it tied to President Ruto's just concluded Mount Kenya tour? And did that tour even achieve what it set out to do? Buckle up. Let's start with Kuria's first strike. Posted on April 5th, 2025, his words weren't just a flex, they were a flare shot into the sky of Kenyan politics. This is the PGA golf lesson of the week, he called it. Translation: politics here is a pro sport, and the amateurs, those inexperienced dreamers, and the paper tigers, those who look tough but crumble under pressure, are about to be exposed. The timing couldn't be more telling. President William Ruto had just wrapped up a 5-day tour of Mount Kenya, a region that handed him victory in 2022. But this tour wasn't all cheers and handshakes. It was a roller coaster of heckling, tension, and a fierce tug of war for influence. Did it solidify Ruto's grip, or did it reveal cracks in his armor? Kuria's post suggests the latter, and he wasn't done. Less than 24 hours later, Kuria fired off another post, one that hit harder and pointed fingers. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was attending a service at PCEA Mwiki in Kasarani, Nairobi, when goons stormed in, turning a place of worship into a political war zone. Kuria didn't mince his words. Quote, "This is utterly ungodly. Leave your backward and primitive political wars out of places of worship. Today was AIPCA Keno reloaded. The lightning that will strike us is still loading. Pole sana Rigathi." It's a scathing condemnation, referencing a past church attack in Kenol and warning of divine retribution. But who was he blaming? And why did this attack happen now, right after Ruto's Mount Kenya tour? The reactions came fast and furious. Monica hit back. "Today you've spoken, but aren't you Ruto's advisor? Tell him directly. They have disrespected God like this. You will all perish." Jen's Arena laughed it off. "Haha, which side are you on? Pick one and stick to it." Kenyans online smells a rat. Many saw Kuria's posts as a veiled attack on pro-government figures, specifically Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja and National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah. Rumors swirled. Was this attack on Gachagua orchestrated by Ruto's own allies? And if so, why? Analysts close to power corridors whispered a wild theory. The original plan was to frame Gachagua's team for staging goons to heckle Ruto during the Mount Kenya tour, claiming they weren't paid, and then tracked him to Mwiki for revenge. But when that leaked and failed, the narrative flipped. Now, it's Rigathi staged it for sympathy. Here is where it gets messy. Kimani Ichung'wah, Ruto's right-hand man in parliament, surprisingly joined Kuria in condemning the church attack.
Na tukigetha kanitha witũ ũingĩre magerio-inĩ ma maũndũ ta marĩa ndona Nairobi ũmũthĩ. Atĩ andũ marathiĩ kũ-disrupt service ya kanitha, it is very sad nĩ ũndũ wa siasa, and we should never do that. Siasa itigatũme tũmenane. Siasa itigatũme tũthũkie kanitha. Na niĩ ngĩenda supportire rĩrĩa Sapita araugire rĩngĩ tuoka kanitha nĩtũke mũndũ athome acoke akate ainũke kana tiguo.
This is the same Ichung'wah who has been Gachagua's fiercest critic. The same guy who even orchestrated and spearheaded his impeachment in 2024. Who took a beating from Mount Kenya crowds during Ruto's tour. Not once, not twice, more than that. He faced jeers so loud he couldn't finish his speeches. In Nyandarua he snapped, "No one can shout me down," but they did. Sources say he's begged Ruto to leave him out of future Mount Kenya visits. Why? Because he believes local leaders are sabotaging him, painting him as a political lightweight in front of the president. Is Ichung'wah's soft stance on Gachagua now a sign he is hedging his bets, fearing he's next on Ruto's chopping block? Ali Nur Mohammed put it bluntly on X. Quote, Kimani Ichung'wah's character development and the humiliation he faced in Mount Kenya was one he will never forget. Today, he's condemning the Gachagua attack. "I'm actually appalled," unquote. Appalled or not, the dots are connecting. If Ichung'wah's majority leader seat is at risk, and rumors say it is, could this be why he's dialing back the aggression? Some even speculate he might ditch Ruto's Kenya Kwanza coalition if push comes to shove, looking for a soft landing with Gachagua. Meanwhile, fingers point at Sakaja and Ichung'wah as the attack's masterminds, with Kuria's posts hinting he's washing his hands of it. "It wasn't me," he seems to say, but is he throwing them under the bus to save himself? Let's zoom out. Ruto's Mount Kenya tour was billed as a development showcase: roads, housing, electricity projects. He insisted that it wasn't political, brushing off critics like Gachagua who dared him to prove his promises weren't empty. But the tour exposed fault lines: Ichung'wah's heckling, Gachagua's defiance, and now this church attack. It's a powder keg. Kuria's amateurs and paper tigers line feels like a prophecy. Is he calling out Ichung'wah's faltering clout, Sakaja's shaky grip on Nairobi, or is he signaling his own exit from Kenya Kwanza? Brian Mutiga on X thinks so. Moses Kuria is on his way out. He wants to be fired, like Justin Muturi. Additional is mine. Mount Kenya politicians will unite against Ruto before 2026. Bold words, but not baseless. So where does this leave us? Moses Kuria's posts have ripped the mask off Kenyan politics, exposing a game of trust, betrayal, and survival. Was Ruto's Mount Kenya tour a triumph or a trap? Did it strengthen his hold, or did it reveal a coalition cracking at the seams? The church attack on Gachagua, condemned by both Kuria and Ichung'wah, raises more questions than answers. Are Sakaja and Ichung'wah the amateurs Kuria warned about? Is Ichung'wah's pride wounded enough to jump ship? And is Kuria positioning himself as the last pro standing or the first to fall? One thing is certain. Quote, na Bado. More is coming. This story is far from over. Newsroom, Maisha TV, Bushabi Jr.